Yo, what's good, YouTube? This is Jay from TNJ. And after that disappointing end to the season, we finished this season 11-3, but steady improvement. And just looking at our trajectory, obviously we went 1-11 in our first year, 5-7, 8-5, and 11-3. So I gotta admit, we have gotten better each year, and our bowl record is 0-2 though, and at least we won our first game versus a top 25 team as well. So as I highlighted last video, Florida and Iowa went at it in the BCS National Championship, and look at that blowout, 42-10. Marquette. Now Marquette is interesting. So I believe they're actually undefeated in bowls, or at least 2-1, I believe. But that's pretty surprising to see that. USF ends up losing in the Rose Bowl to Illinois. Wow. Who would have thought Illinois? They're 9-4 and they're top 10. I don't think that's right at all. I don't know how they are top 10, because look at Michigan. They're 11-3 and number 13, and they ended up beating South Carolina in that bowl. I want to look at Auburn. Where is Auburn? Because Auburn was actually undefeated. They just lost in the SEC championship. Okay, there they are. Auburn Notre Dame. What a game. And look at that. They end up edging out Notre Dame 42-23. That game wasn't actually close at all. Clemson blew out Kansas State as well. So a lot of weird games, a lot of weird teams in the top 10, at least with their record. I don't think, Illinois should be top 10 at all with 4 losses. Marvin Woods is a first-team All-American, and that's our first-teamer in this series. 4 sacks, 81 tackles. I did not realize he had that type of season. 81 tackles, 14 tackles for loss, assisted tackle, and 3 pass deflections. Man, he had a monster year. Let's see if we have anybody else. Nathan Beaver. Wow, now that's shocking. I did not expect Nathan Beaver to be a first-team All-American. I thought he had a pretty good, I guess with the start that he had to the year, I guess that's what did it. Because the end of the year, man, he was just off. I mean, he was missing a lot of tackles, and he did have 2 interceptions early in the year, the pass deflection as well. I'd say that his first half of the year was definitely solidifying him to be an All-American. But, man, he did have a bad start, bad ending, I'd say. And then Xavier Storm makes it. So let's just look at his receiving stats. He almost has 100 catches. 1,100 yards, 10 touchdowns, amazing for him. But this one, it was not for being a receiver, as for his return game. And he had a really good return game year, and I'd say that it was well-deserved for him. Let's see if we have any second-teamers here as we go through anybody. Will we see Zane Alexander? Not surprising here. He had a really good year. 3 sacks, only 1 interception. It seemed like he had way more. Maybe I was thinking about his freshman year. He had a defensive touchdown as well. He was a beast from that nickel corner position. I'm actually not surprised there. Let's actually look at our All-American conference, because let's see who was there. Octavius Battle and Brian Norris definitely made it. Yarbrough actually is a first-team receiver in the conference. No surprise here. 11 touchdowns, 1,000 yards. And you know what's funny about that is that maybe Xavier Storm had a better season. I guess we'll have to see when we look at the full team stats. But, man, I got to admit, I'm pretty surprised that to not see somebody like Shaq Royal here, because I feel like he had a big season. But Derek and Pinto definitely had the biggest season of any defensive lineman. 4 sacks, 11 tackles for loss. I think that's what did it. The tackles. Like, he was just in on a lot of tackles, and he was just all around the ball. And that's really hard to do, especially at a defensive end position. Let's just compare that to Stacy Kirby. See, we had 1 more tackle than Stacy Kirby. He did have 24 tackles for loss, though, and 7.5 sacks. But getting 30-something tackles is definitely a big feat for a defensive lineman. Marvin Woods ends up being first team. Zane Alexander and Nathan Beaver. And then our kicker, Gerard Bryant, actually makes it as well. His longest field goal was only 47 yards. He's going to need to get that up to 50, because there were definitely times I went for 4th downs and I had to go for it because I knew he didn't have the range. Let's look at second team here. Let's see if we have anybody on second team. Justin Jameson makes it. Let's just look at his stats really quick. I don't think he was overly impressive. I think he just was good enough. Actually, his freshman year was pretty comparable to this year. 14 tackles, 5 tackles for loss, and 3 sacks. Not bad. And then second team, Ryan Robinson gets second team. So, wow, I feel like Ryan Robinson got disrespected here. 44 tackles, 11 for loss, and 6 sacks. That's a lot of sacks for a safety. Wow, I think he did get disrespected there. So let's see if we had any award winners. Walter Camp, nope. Bednarik won by Justin Adamalola. Is that how you say it? Adamalola? Man, he was pretty good, actually. Look at Auburn just dominating every single award. We don't have anybody within the top 10 of any of these awards, so I don't know if that's an indictment on us, but look at this. We literally had nobody. Even best returner. How do we have an all-American best returner, but we don't win the best returner award? That makes literally no sense. So I don't know why Xavier Storm wasn't there, but he's not even top 10. So let's review the team stats on this year, and I gotta admit, it's a little bittersweet because, you know, the seniors are graduating. I'm gonna miss a lot of these guys, but it's also sweet because we get to see a new wave of talent for the Whitetails. Adam Miller has had quite a career, and I gotta say, 61 touchdowns, 48 interceptions, 10,000 yards passing. I mean, he had a great career in my opinion, and honestly, that first year, he had 20 touchdown passes, 15 interceptions. I mean, he definitely exceeded expectations. It only led to one win, but still, I mean, it's just crazy to see just having him at quarterback all 4 years, how that journey has been. Now, we do have a controversy at quarterback going into next season. Brian Simmons is there, 8 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. We saw that huge game he exploded with. I believe that was versus Tulsa, but then the next game he struggled, and that's kind of what we might see with him. He's 66 overall. He's going to be a redshirt sophomore next season, and probably around 70, 71 overall. And then we have Nathan Beaver, who obviously has some passing stats. But then we have Justin D'Roberto, who we'll go over later in this video, just the guys to look out for next year. Running the ball, Jabari Blaze had 747 yards total this season, down from last year's total of 873. 10 touchdowns, though, so he had his career high in touchdowns. He will be going into his senior year. And you know what? You know, him and also Adam Murphy are going to be splitting time next season. It's going to be interesting to see those two kind of go 1-2, because I think Jacoby Beck is going to move back to receiver. We tried to move him full-time over to running back, but it seemed like I feel like he's just going to have more of an impact as a true receiver. And you see he isn't the greatest of route runners, but I think he can do some stuff with that speed. Him and Xavier Storm at receiver are going to be crucial to next year's success. Bam Cameron actually ran the ball pretty well when he got in. He didn't get too many carries, but 3.6 yards per carry, I'll take that all day, especially for a guy that's supposed to be in on passing situations. And then Adam Murphy had 3 touchdowns on 25 carries, 100 yards rushing. He's definitely going to get a lot more come next season. We don't know what offense we're going to run because, remember, I do randomize it, so we'll have to see what happens. Surprisingly, Xavier Storm leads the team in receptions and yards. 1,100 for the freshman, and this guy is pretty good. I mean, I got to switch his position, so his overall is definitely going to be shifted come next year. I don't know what it's going to be. It's probably going to be maybe 70 or so. I'm not sure, but he definitely made some waves at receiver, almost 100 receptions here in his first season. Brett Hill is going to the NFL more than likely. 932 yards on 78 receptions, a really solid season from him. Marlon Yarbrough goes over 1,000 yards for the third year in 4. And wow, I mean, he actually had the most touchdowns this year, 11 in his career. Ends up being a 4,700-yard career for him, 31 touchdowns. Just amazing. Remember, he is the all-time leader in the NCAA in receptions with 354 total. Just amazing. The average yards per game, 93. Look at his freshman year. 140 yards per game. That is just insane. And a total of 1,300 yards after the catch. I mean, that is just crazy numbers. I'm going to miss this guy, seriously. I mean, he's just been the best player that we've had on this squad every single season for the last 4 years. Doug Johnson actually had a decent year this year, around 600 yards. He likes to hover. 3 touchdowns this year, his career low, but still 47 receptions. Pretty consistent from him, and you don't see many drops as well. He had 4 this year, but, I mean, come on now. I mean, this guy contributed on both sides of the ball all 4 years. Just great career from him. And then Chris Coretta did take a little step back because we moved to the run and shoot, and he will improve next season. Don't worry, he will contribute, and I think that, you know, even switching offenses, as long as we're not in the run and shoot, he's going to make an impact. So let's look at the other guys. Bam Cameron out of the backfield only had 7 receptions. I'm pretty surprised at that, and I kind of contribute that to Jabari Blaze. He was actually a decent pass catcher out of the backfield, and Jacoby Beck had more catches as well. A guy to look out for next year, Francis Smith, a freshman, 6'5". He's going to be in the low 70s come next year. He can catch the ball well. His route running is definitely going to have to be improved. Catching traffic as well, but he's a big body guy, 6'5". That's a lot of size. I'm looking forward to seeing how this receiving core is going to look next season. Our offensive line actually had a pretty good year. Only giving up, the most we gave up was Dante Nichols, 11 sacks at right tackle, and that's mainly because we scramble out to the right side. This line had a good year. Joey Moss gave up 4, Franklin gave up 4. I mean, this was a really good offensive line, to be honest. Even though we're in the 60s overalls of most of our guys, I think they actually excelled there. So defense, well, I'd say it was an up and down season because the last few games there, we definitely broke on defense, definitely. Ryan Robinson led the team in sacks. Let's just go over tackles here. Let's go over total tackles first. Marvin Woods leads the way and nearly doubles anybody else with 82. That is just crazy. Nathan Beaver, remember, he earned All-American. That's crazy as well. I mean, with 44 tackles, he only had 4 tackles for loss as well, and only 2 assisted tackles. I think that stat might be wrong there, but I don't know. Just looking at the rest of the guys, Tucker Okonkwo finishes with a decent year. Just look at his career in total. He actually had his lowest tackle total, and that's mainly because he missed a few games, remember? And then I think he had his career low in sacks with 0. No, it looks like his sophomore year he had 0 as well. I'm pretty surprised at that because we did rush him quite a bit. Derek Pinto is going into his senior year next year. He's going to have a big season. You see the progression each year. He's gone up in every single statistical category every single year. I mean, that's what you want to see. You want to see progress out of these guys. Blake Childress is going to play a huge role next season. He had a sack in that game that he substituted for Tucker Okonkwo. I guess that says a lot because Okonkwo did not have any sacks at all. So he's definitely going to need to step up in his junior year. He's going to be in the low 70s overall. I think he's going to make a big impact come next year. Shaq Royal started out fast and then slowed down towards the end. He still had a good season, 5 sacks, but I want to see more out of him. And I think we have a lot of good defensive ends coming in that are going to be eligible next season. So I think Shaq Royal and Derek Pinto are going to shift around just a little bit. I don't know if one of them, maybe Shaq Royal or even Derek Pinto, is going to switch over to linebacker. I don't know. I guess we'll have to see in the offseason. Looking at the other tackles here, tacklers, I say Ebicelli actually had 10 tackles, 2 sacks. When he got in, he got at least try to get to the quarterback. He didn't get too much playing time, though. But I do want to see more sack production out of this team. Looking at our leading sack getters, Ryan Robinson with 6 out of the safety position. That's a problem because if our safety is getting the most sacks, that's definitely a problem. Marvin Woods had 4. Derek Pinto had 4. Justin Jameson had probably the most underrated season on this team and giving up, I mean, he got 3 sacks, but he was making it disruptive on quarterbacks all season, even as a pass rusher. He was definitely making it tough. Zane Alexander actually had a pretty good year rushing the passer as well. I sent him on a lot of nickel blitzes because he is our slot nickel corner. He's actually pretty good there, and I'm pretty sure I'm going to keep him there. I'm not going to move him to the outside. He's going to play in the nickel probably his entire career. Nathan Beaver had 2, and let's just look at the tackles for loss leaders. Marvin Woods had 14. Zane Alexander had 6 from the nickel position. That's pretty good. Interception leaders, Nathan Beaver had 2. Elgin Lloyd had 1. Marvin Woods had 1. And Zane only had 1 as well. Yeah, that's actually down from his last year. He had 3. So I definitely want to see some more interceptions from him. I think he's a playmaker. I think he's in for a big year come next season. So I talked about impact guys going into next season. Justin DiRoberto is one of them. He is a pure pocket passer. He has good power, actually, throw power. And let's just compare that to all of our other quarterbacks. Just looking at him, he actually has the highest throw power on the team. And even being redshirted, his accuracy has went up too. So he's at 78 accuracy. So he's improved it just as a redshirt. I don't think I've ever seen that before. Maybe I have. But I thought the awareness only goes up a little bit. But it looks like he's going to be a pretty good passer. I think him and Bryant Simmons are definitely going to be going at it, but Bryant Simmons can run. That's the big difference, and we'll see how that job plays out. At receiver, I talked about it a little bit. We're going to look at two guys here. Francis Smith, 6'5", already mentioned him, but Anthony Swanson is a route runner. He's going to be in the low 80s in route running. He's not the fastest, but he's going to get open. He's going to be our Brett Hill probably next season. I don't know. I guess we'll have to see, but we're going to have a lot of different packages as well. I did not highlight Rodney Ross, actually. Man, he's going to be missed too because, remember, he had a big impact. And look at him. He's still only 59 overall. That is just amazing. His production was crazy. Even in the first year when he showed up late in the season and ended up not giving the spot back, he had 5 touchdowns that season. That's amazing. Also, another guy I did not highlight was Javon Oliver. And he was our starting tight end in year 1. Obviously didn't get the playing time because Chris Coretta came on to the program and kind of took his spot, but he is going to be missed as well. He was really good with blocking. Look at him. He has 99 awareness. Chris Coretta going into his junior year, he's going to be the starting tight end. But watch out for Price Greer. He's going to be pretty good. And why? He's the most athletic guy we have at tight end. 84 speed is actually really fast for a tight end. And it's going to be fun because he's going to be a mismatch nightmare. He's our most athletic guy. Watch out for number 82. He's 6'2", 235. He's going to make some waves catching the ball. I don't know if you guys remember, but our last recruit in the offseason was Big Bobby Mathis. Now, he's going to be a redshirt freshman next year, and I honestly don't know if he will play, but he is really good. Power moves at 81, so that makes me want to play him. I'm thinking I might move Derek Pinto over to middle linebacker for his senior season. He's pretty good. He's got good speed, and I think that he will transition well. So if Bobby Mathis ends up having a good season of training, I think I'm going to have him as our starter because Justin Jameson, I still am not losing him, and he is very, very productive at the defensive tackle position. I don't want to lose him there. And so is Brad Robinson. Both of those guys are pretty good. Brad Robinson made a huge impact his freshman year. He didn't get as much playing time, but he actually had quite the bit of production. I mean, when he got in, he was productive. He had 1 sack, but 11 tackles, 5 tackles for loss is pretty good at defensive tackle. And the reason why I am thinking about moving Derek Pinto over to middle linebackers because James Chaney was not productive. He is one of the higher rated linebackers we have on our team, but he just doesn't produce on the field, and it's definitely took a toll on our defense a little bit, and that's why we had to move Cam Duvano over to linebacker this year. And let's just look at the impact that Cam Duvano made. He's now 99 overall, or 99 awareness. What am I saying? He recognizes plays, probably one of the best on the team, 84. I just don't know about him being a true linebacker. Let's just look at his stats. He had 6 tackles. That's really, really alarming. Seeing that he was on the field for most of the plays, too. I mean, he was on the field a lot, and he only got after the ball for 6 tackles. That's definitely got to change. Maybe his position is just truly safety. Maybe he's a box safety. And I think he's going to play a little bit of a role with Ryan Robinson when we do have that package in with 3 safeties on the field. I'm going to have to switch Cam Duvano from being at that inside linebacker position. And then at safety, I do want you guys to look out for Jadavius Muhammad. Now, he is a special teams guy, but he has good zone. So when we are in zone situations, he's going to play. And he can, I don't know if he's going to play man at all, but he's a safety who's got decent speed. I'd say 85 is decent, but that zone coverage is one of the best on the team, especially at safety. So look out for him next season. The last guy I want to highlight going into next year is Lucas McCallum. Now, he is only 61 overall. Don't get me wrong, he's going to definitely have to earn his spot, but 89 tackling. It's hard to get that type of production getting tackles. So if somebody starts to slip up and misses a lot of tackles, I think Lucas McCallum is going to be one of the first guys to hit the field because, I mean, it's hard to find guys that could tackle like that, and he's got decent hit power as well, 81. So watch out for him. I am thinking about moving him over to middle linebacker because his coverage is so bad. It doesn't make sense to have him at linebacker. So I guess we'll see. He hasn't played yet, and he was not redshirted. So he did play on special teams. Didn't get any tackles, though, but watch out for him next season. So to end this video, let's just look at who we're going after in the offseason as far as recruiting. I'm pretty sure we're going all in on Jonathan Simmons. I'm not going to put all 10,000 points on him. I'm pretty sure like 9,000 will go on him, though. Like, we just need this guy. Chicago, Illinois, number 31 defensive end. He's going to be 74 overall. That's what I'm saying. If we do end up moving these linebackers or these defensive ends we have right now to linebacker, it's going to open up a spot for Jonathan Simmons. He is just amazing. David Carr is decent. We just don't need him. Terrell Samuel is decent as well. We just don't need him. I think I'm going to just put my points on Terrell Samuel and Jonathan Simmons because we don't need Jamal Rogers either. And then we'll probably get some walk-ons as well. So we'll see how that shapes out. So to end this video, I am going to kind of put a tribute out for the best highlights of the first 4 seasons and a tribute to the seniors who have stuck by us all 4 years. So I hope you guys enjoy it. Next episode will be the off season. So hit subscribe, hit that like button. Hope you guys enjoy the tribute. See you in the off season. So now 1st and 10. They only rushed 2 on this one. Miller's going to throw over the middle, and that's going to be a touchdown. Marlon Yarbrough. The first touchdown in Whitetails history comes at home by way of Marlon Yarbrough. So we are still in this game, so all it takes is a couple of big plays. 1st and 10. Throw across the middle. It's Angel Fabian. He gets open. Touchdown. Whitetails. Angel Fabian. So they do stack the box here to stop the run. So we switch it to a quick pass. 2nd and 6. Here's a throw across the middle. It's Rodney Ross. Game over. And for the first time in school history, the Whitetails come away with a victory. And how fitting it comes on the road versus our set rivalry throughout this dynasty. Ross getting open, but he cannot hang on to that one. So 2nd and 10 throw out to the right side. Marlon Yarbrough, he's going to make one man miss, and he's going to be off and gone. Touchdown, Marlon Yarbrough, 75 yards. Can anybody guard this guy? This guy is a 40-something overall player. He should not be doing this. He throw at opposing offenses works. So now on the next drive, here's Marlon Yarbrough getting a catch down the right sideline, and he's off to the races, and he's gone. Touchdown. So now 3rd and 10. Here's a lob out to left side. It's Marlon Yarbrough. He gets in for the touchdown, 24 yards out. So out on the next drive, inside the 10-yard line. Here's Carter trying to scramble out. He gets run down, and that is another sack. Derek Pinto, his 2nd sack of the first quarter. So 1st and 10, rolling out to the right side. Nathan, he lets it go, and it's going to be caught in the end zone. Javon Oliver. He gave up his spot last year to Chris Coretta, but he's still been on the field quite a bit blocking on this defense. So 3rd and 2, here's a throw out to the left side. It's picked off, and look who it is. It's Cam Duvano, the freshman out of Mankato. What a play on that one. So now 3rd and 11. This time Jones, he's going to try to buy some time. Roll out to the right, throw back to the left. It's picked off. Tucker Okonkwo, welcome back, fella. The junior leader on defense. You can just see the leadership. I mean, just the impact on the game. And he's already got a turnover in his first game back. So now at the 17-yard line from the shotgun, throw out to the right side. It's Doug Johnson. He breaks a tackle, and he gets into the end zone for the touchdown, 18 yards out. And wow, Doug Johnson. So now 1st and 10 at about the 10-yard line. Quick throw across the middle. It's Angel Fabian. He's going to fall into the end zone for the touchdown, 11 yards out. And Trayvon Davis, his first touchdown pass of his starting quarterback career. So now 3rd and 10. This time Davis throws across the middle. He's got Jacoby Beck wide open, and he's going to walk in. Touchdown, Jacoby Beck. 54 yards down the field. And you can just see this chemistry oozing from this game. And look at Jacoby Beck, wide open across the middle. So now 3rd and 8, Bush from the shotgun, this time setting a blitz, and we're gonna get there. It's Ryan Robinson. So now 3rd and 10, this time Bush is gonna face some pressure. This time he's going down. It's Zane Alexander coming in from the nickel position. Bush throwing out to left side, he's finding Lewis, and he's gonna cough it up, and that's a big hit by who else? Nathan Beaver coughs it up, and Zane Alexander falls on it. Man, Beaver's having himself a great game. Look at this hit he puts on the receiver, and it jars the ball loose. 1st and 10, throw out to left side. It's going to be an interception, and look who it is. Beaver, his 2nd interception of the game. Wow, what a way to end this game. He catches that one actually with one hand. What do you know? And that brings it to a 3rd and 6. On this play, Archer trying to get rid of the ball, but he tries to scramble, and that is going to be a sack. And that is Ryan Robinson onto the field. So here's Archer trying to scramble out to the right side. He can't get away. That's a sack. And that time it's Alvin Ebiselli, and it's a turnover once again. So here's TCU backing onto the field, but look at this defense. Another sack. This time Shaq Royal is getting in on the fun. The 3rd and 17, another blitz, and this time Nathan Beaver comes in. So now 1st and 10 at about the 48. Screen pass out to the left side, and it's picked off by Zane Alexander. He makes up for it, and he's going to take it all the way, and that is a touchdown, and that one will take us to the end of this game. Zane Alexander makes up for the mistake to play earlier. And here is Miller, 3 wide receivers out to the left side. He's going to roll that way, and he's going to throw that way. He's got Yarbrough, who fights in for the touchdown. But we do kind of switch it up. 5 wide out. Yarbrough to the left side, puts on a spin move and gets into the end zone. His 2nd of the half. So 2nd and 5. This clock does continue to run. We don't call a timeout. Deep shot down the left side. It's Xavier Storm. He makes a move and puts on the brakes. It's a touchdown for the freshman Xavier Storm. Adam Miller, 3 touchdowns in the first half. Take another look. The back juke just makes a defender look silly, and the speed and acceleration. It's a touchdown for the freshman. So now we roll the clock down. This time Miller throws out to the left side. It's Xavier Storm who uses his speed. Touchdown. So now under 2.5 minutes left. Simmons throws to the end zone on the next play. It's a touchdown. Yarbrough, 11 yards. 2nd and 4. 1.5 minutes left. Great blocking by Bam Cameron. He unloads, goes deep. It's Yarbrough wide open, who breaks the tackle. He's in. Touchdown. Marlin again. Back-to-back touchdowns for the senior Brian Simmons, his 3rd of the game. And look at that throw. It was wide open, I gotta admit it, but you gotta make the throw. I'm impressed with this kid. So now on a 2nd and 13, 6.5 minutes left. Simmons unloads. He's got Yarbrough. Touchdown again. 1, 2, 3, make it 4 receiving touchdowns in this game, and that one breaks the school record for most touchdown catches in a game. Marlon Yarbrough, the greatest receiver to walk through here. So we're running 4 verticals. Simmons winds up, throws the ball deep. Doug Johnson, and he's got it. Touchdown! And Doug Johnson sends us to the conference championship for the first time in school history. Doug Johnson, a man that was on the offensive and defensive side of the ball in season 1, switched over to defense in season 2, and he's back on offense in season 3 and 4. And look at this, his last home game, he makes the biggest catch of this series. Player of the game, hands down, an instant classic.
I've been working hard for a minute. The ones who don't deserve it seem to be the ones that get it. The ones who speak the truth never get the recognition, but the ones that act foolish seem to get all the attention. It don't matter though, yeah. Hey, it don't even matter though, no. Hey, it don't even matter.